Hey guys, I'm here to review or give my review on WWE 12. Gotta say, it's a lot better than what they did with the last year's game, getting out of the whole SmackDown versus Raw deal and starting anew. Even though after I collected all the lockable features and stuff, it's I don't get how they would they make all these different belts, or they make everything separate though for the different types of belts. Like you have the standard of the newer version of the WWE title. And you have the undisputed title that came before it and Attitude Era, but they don't make it like a separate different title. I mean, like separate option for changing it between the titles if you change champion. If you want to have a different title design on them instead of just that they have separate champions. Like I think they had Del Rio as a default champion. They had Undertaker as a undisputed and Triple H as the Attitude Era WWE champion. Plus they have the WCW spray painted world title like they did back in the day, and the spray painted WWE WCW championship sort of. I gotta say, it wasn't too bad. It's good to have the exhibition mode with the old with all the belts, and you have most of the current guys. They better features, and they fixed some of the problems with it. Just it's just that for one, they haven't fixed all the glitches that were in the last year's game, and they go back to not making the table so breakable where they have in the older games in that SmackDown vs. Raw series that they make it scoot around if you're trying to suplex or do a move that would usually on 2011 put somebody through a table, make it less easier. Beyond that, it's a pretty good game. It lives up to the hype for the most part. The Road to WrestleMania was the best storytelling in Northern WrestleMania history for any of the SmackDown vs. Raw the last few years. And they should do some more of this stuff with the WWE program than they're doing today. I just wish some of these guys that are writing these stories for the Road to WrestleManias would actually give the writers that they have today, since we're lacking on some storylines, to do this in WWE programming, except for probably the WCW thing, because most of these guys are about to retire. I don't want. I don't think any of them really want to hog any of the newer talents' time on the camera during this storylines building up to all the different pay-per-views during the year. But it was a good thing. You start off with Sheamus' villain Road to WrestleMania, which is him going through was like I think Vengeance or something, or Survivor Series. I think it's like a 5 month, not just going to pay more from a few weeks before Royal Rumble to WrestleMania is from like before Survivor Series going up to WrestleMania, where build Sheamus up. He's like, or have him going. after the world title through a lot of things. We're gonna give the winners of the elimination tag team match a title shot. They start building. They have a Miz state. Have a stable with Miz in it. Wade Barrett, William Regal, Jack Swagger, and they have all these guys in there, and they get to the point they start forming the United Kingdom, which is a newer version of the Un-Americans. And they did a good job. They built it up so they would all become champions, and then Sheamus would take all the glory away from them when they started breaking down. Start breaking down, and they progress into the other stories. It was better writing than I've seen in a while. WWE programming. It's all solid game. It's a lot better than what they've been doing with the SmackDown vs. Raw series, which is overly glitched in some parts, and it didn't make any sense in certain when you're playing it online and on your own time, just playing on exhibition, which sucks. That they couldn't have done this sooner instead of later, where they could have done this for last year and made it a hell of a lot better. They probably could have had more DLC for last year's game too. But every year they're trying to top the bar with what they done in the previous year, so it really improved in a lot of ways. And I like playing it, and it's doing a lot better than last year's game was doing when you play through continuous yearly WWE Universe storyline where you just try to make your own decisions on what happens. But this year you're not forced to make these guys the number one contender. You can insert people at certain times into matches to get somewhere. They can have a cause since I'm always focusing on having a call, do all this. You get your achievements for doing this, and besides not just having some trophies thrown in for just playing the road to WrestleMania, they have more to do with your call and creating and doing certain things in the match. What they basically did for this year, and I liked it. And since I reserved it earlier, I got The Rock, which most people are having trouble getting now, and Miz tires. Thought they did a lot better this year instead of making the 90s Rock and making the newer one. Oh no, bravo DHQ, finally doing it right this year for the most part. But you need to continue to listen to the people that are actually buying your game every year instead of just, oh, we might put this in the game next year and then not get put in the game. You better start doing something about actually listening to us, or I might not buy it next year if it hasn't improved a little more from this year. So this is the review of WWE 12. Nick from Straight Talk Wrestling. Later. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, comment